Hello guys, Keaton Films here, and today we are going to be turning a shoebox into a diorama set for the upcoming Mangle youtooz figure. We'll need a random shoebox lying around, a hot glue gun, some of this silver wire ribbon, a couple Sharpies, a couple pencils, a green and blue colored pencil, and a whole bunch of white paper, and last of all, some glue sticks. Also going to need scissors, and remember, have an adult help you when using hot glue gun and scissors so you don't accidentally injure yourself. The first step, so line the bottom with some paper, and then take a pencil and mark along the edge of the box so you can cut it out to the correct size. Next up, you're going to want to take your scissors and cut along said line. Before we glue it in, we're going to take a look at it, make sure it fits properly inside the box. And then before we glue it in, we're going to put the tiles on it. Take a note. Put down something underneath the paper before you start using the Sharpie, otherwise it will bleed through. And now repeat the same process as you did for the first piece of paper onto the other paper. No, you don't have to make your lines look perfect. When you get them colored in, it will look a lot better. Well, both tiles are colored in, and again, remember to put down something before you use a Sharpie on a table, otherwise it'll bleed through and it is not easy to come. Next step is to plug in a hot glue gun and just apply some hot glue, just kind of like that.
And remember, if you need another hot glue stick, just put one in. Put some hot glue just kind of in there.
Now that the hot glue is in, go ahead and place down your tiles inside. Be careful not to burn yourself. Again, have an adult help you
Before using any hot glue. Add more hot glue if needed.
And now the floor is complete. But that's not where it ends. So we still got the walls and the roof to do. So let's go ahead and cut this top piece of our shoebox. The top of the shoebox is cut off. Now we can get started on the walls. So what we're going to do, we're going to want to tip it over and stick in a piece of paper. One piece of paper should be the amount you need for the wall. Again, we're just going to take a pencil, just trace along where the box ends, cut it, and then we're going to draw on the wall. We're lucky enough to have to cut a piece of paper in half, so now we got the pieces for two walls. Let's get the decals on. pencil and kind of lightly shade the bottom of him. And then we're going to take take some notebook paper and cut it out to make the drawings. Now that both bottoms of the walls have been shaded in, now we're going to cut up some notebook paper and add it onto the walls. And it's much easier to add the paper onto the walls before gluing them into the display. The fun part, we're going to draw on those little papers. On one of them, I drew a person holding a balloon. I drew a mysterious rabbit on another one, and I draw Freddy with the classic youtooz eyes in the other one. Remember, it's your diorama, so whatever you want to draw, just draw whatever you want. Make it artistic, make it simple. Do whatever the drawings are complete. On to the last step of the wall before we put these two up. We gotta draw our Pirates Cove poster. So the one I'm going off of is the one from the second game in Kids Cove. So I'm going to use a bit of artistic skills and draw out mangle in a art style I use. Now you can do it however you want. It's your diorama. Just have fun. That's the important thing about all of this. Now that you have your poster drawn out and traced over, now it's time to color it. Now that all our posters and drawings are drawn out, time to transfer them over to here. Got the drawings and posters put in. Let's flip this over to its side. We're gonna repeat what we did with the floor. We're gonna put some hot glue in here. Then we're gonna set our wall in there. Left is that giant back wall like before. We're going to measure out the thing before we put on the decorations and everything. And we're going to draw on the decals. Alright, now that we got the walls in and the floor, there's one last detail, and that is the little wire ribbon things that you can buy at JCPenney and Michael's. They're really good for crafts on wiring and stuff, and this is what we're going to have dangling from that I got my wiring cut out. We're going to flip the build upside down. We're going to apply some hot glue, and we're going to attach them. Now that we got the wires in, it's starting to look a lot like Kids Cove, but we're not done yet. Now we got to attach some wires onto the walls now. And slight thing, if your wires seem to be all bunched up at the ceiling, just grab them and just kind of pull them down, and that should get them to come on down easily. We're going to do same step at the top. We're going to apply a stream of hot glue across the top. And then we are going to carefully add our wires. Be careful not to burn yourself. Again, get an adult to help if needed. Especially when working with hot glue and scissors. There we go. The Kids Cove diorama is complete. All the wires are in place. It was looking great. This video is that you don't need expensive tools, you don't need expensive art supplies, you don't really need money to build a neat little set. All you just need is a lot of imagination and some common household items, and that's really it. That's kind of the whole purpose of this video, is just to show you that you don't need fancy stuff to make fancy stuff. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.